to be here. Nice to see y'all. So this is a Q&A, so I'm just going to let y'all ask me things, okay? Not all at once. You can raise your hand. There are folks with microphones who will come around. The rules are, like, don't ask if you can, like, give me a hug or give me a present or for me to sign something. Do that in the autograph line. You want to do something that's going to be fun for everybody here to watch. Go ahead, take pictures, take videos, that's fine. Yeah, cool. So I'm assuming I don't need to do, like, the hi, these are the shows that I've been in, unless you really want me to. Good. Let's not waste time with that. So without further ado, why don't you just raise your hand and I'll call on somebody? How about this very front row in the green? Hold on, wait, got a microphone so that everybody can hear your question. I want a microphone.
What's your opinion on Evergreen and Elfman's relationship?
What is my opinion on Evergreen and Elfman's relationship? I like it. I think they're really funny and fun. And Evergreen is ridiculous. Like, she's such a ridiculous character, and I love playing her. And it only became more fun when Elfman was around, especially because he's voiced by Christopher Sabat. And as long as we've known each other, we rarely play characters that interact. We might be in the same show, or I direct him in my show, or vice versa. So it's really fun playing the opposite him. I am totally for that. But we'll jump over to this side. You can do a lot of running around. Right here with the green sleeve.
I'm making the assumption that you're playing Pokemon. So what's your team and what's your favorite Pokemon?
I am not playing Pokemon. Some of us have anime to make to keep all of you happy. I would just be catching like the same 4 Pokemon over and over, standing at my console, directing other actors the whole time. So yeah, I honestly don't have time. It's amazing. My husband plays, and he's on, which was the red team, Valor? Yeah, that's my husband's team, so I'll root for
for the
them.
win.
It's good to support your spouse. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do like a back and forth thing, because it's just the easiest. It helps me keep track. Right here, in the Plasmagica shirt. Shut up, I love your shirt.
One give an autograph and read back.
What's that?
You want to read back?
Do I want to what?
Read the
the
back.
back. Sorry, y'all's monitors bounce out that way, so what does the back say? Summer tour, Yokai Street, Shibu Valley, S River, New York. This is so great. Where did you get that, Edmonton?
I made it.
You made it? That's so great. Edmonton, that's this weekend. Like right now.
Yes.
Grateful King Rock Festival, August 14th and 20th. That's so rad. What a cool shirt.
That's cool, but what I want to know is your favorite underrated anime. So that anime that when you say it, nobody knows what you're talking about. Which one is that?
No
So that we can all go
pressure.
watch it.
No pressure. Underrated show that nobody watches. Like, do I have to be in it?
No.
Oh. I don't know that it's underrated, but it's a little bit older. It's one of my favorites. It's called His and Her Circumstances. Like 3 people know what it is. And it's a show that I was watching when I first became a voice actor. And it's really, really good and really funny. It's also known as Karekano. You can read the manga, which is pretty long. So if you like a long story that goes forever, do that one. It's good. So, His and Her Circumstances, check it out. It's been out for ages, like a good 10 years. It's totally completed. It's like 6 or 7 volumes. It's like a school romance thing, but it's really good. Good in English and in Japanese. I'm not in it, have nothing to do with it, but it's excellent. Back over here, front row. Bye already. Thanks for coming. Sorry. Wrong place. We have Pokemon in
Alright, so, what do you think would happen? This is kind of like a what-if scenario. What if Winry Rockbell and Rose from Tales of Zestiria were to meet?
They seem kind of like kindred spirits. They both both have to deal with people that are kind of idiots. I think that they get along pretty well. I think so. I think that they would be friends. I cannot think of, a story or a scenario for them, but as far as if they met, I think they'd be chill with each other. It'd be cool. Yeah. Good question. All right, back to this side. You, Pat.
What's your favorite line that you recorded?
It's a very hard question because I've been doing this job for 13, 14 years. I'm in my 14th year of the job. So that's a lot of lines, hundreds of characters, and many, many, many anime. So
Is it the Mustang is that sexy line?
no, I never had to say that line. No one ever recorded that line. That is not in Full Metal Alchemist. That is out here. Mustang is dead sexy, mini skirt or not. With no skirt on, that'd be great too. Pants or skirt. Gosh, I really cannot choose a favorite line because there's some funny ones, but there's so many funny ones I can't recall them. I never had to memorize them. Seriously, I think I said everything I've ever said once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if it was difficult to record. And even things I have had to memorize in my lifetime, like lines from plays, I can't recall them. I don't know. I just did a play like a month ago. I can't remember any of my lines. So, sorry, maybe that's a cop-out answer, but it's truthful, at least. How about right here?
Would you say it's easier or harder to direct yourself?
Than what? Than being directed?
Yeah, anybody else.
No, it's easier. Yeah, it's easier because I don't have to try and figure out what the director means by what they're saying. Because I'm the director of the show, I already know everything about the show, like how the scene pertains to the one before it and after it, and how my character relates to everybody. When you're an actor, you step in there, and when you are just the actor, it is a bit more real and organic because you're just like the person in that scene. You only know what that person knows based on what the director tells you. But it's faster when you direct yourself. It's good, yeah, I like it. But that only works when you're directing yourself in your own show. If for some reason the director of another show had some emergency and I had to direct myself in their show, I would hate that because I wouldn't really know what was going on. Like, okay, well, this matches the mouth. I hope it's what you want. Over here, about the yellow dress. Or shirt, I can't really see it. So it's yellow, whatever it is.
I heard that you were getting cast as Kyoko in Skippy.
It's true.
Have you recorded any of her lines, and how do you like playing her?
I have recorded about 6 episodes. So there is a dub of the really awesome anime from about 8 years ago called Skippy. Just heard of Skippy. It's hilarious, and there's still a manga after all these years. And the title was rescued by a really cool company called Pied Piper, and the dub was funded through a Kickstarter. So if any of you donated, thank you very, very much. We are in the process of recording. Bryce, who's also here this weekend, he's in it. Who else is in the show? Erica Lindbeck, Mela Lee, Todd Habercorn. Todd's in it, Vic is in it, Richard Epphart, Grant George, Robbie Damon, awesome people, Christina V. It's really good, it's really funny, and yes, I do play Kyoko. She's crazy, and I love her so much. She's like the role of a lifetime, you guys. She's amazing, because she's herself, but she's going through a lot of things in life, so she's learning to be an actress, so all of the roles that she plays as this person, I also play all of those, and animated in the show are like her inner demons, and also like the angels on her shoulders, my shoulder angel. So I get to play all of those voices. I probably have 3 or 4 times as many lines as everybody else in the show. It's really hard work, but it's extremely rewarding. And when I get back home to Texas after this, I'm actually doing some more. So yeah, I don't know when it comes out. I'm sorry that I don't know. I'm probably the one holding it up because I have so much work to do. Like I gotta find time to go record Skippy, in addition to conventions and directing 40 hours a week and all of that. But it's awesome. It's coming along. It's gonna be great. Great. If you want I think, there was like a second mic, and that way you don't have to run back and forth. But I don't want people to block anybody's view since it's such a small room. But if he comes back, we'll get another mic, and that way you can be one side and the other person can be the other side. So back over here, you with the wig and the glove. Yeah. You are probably kitty toe if I had to. Yes.
One thing I've always wondered about is there are some animes that a lot of people have been asking, oh, when is it going to get licensed? When is it going to get dubbed? Yada yada. And on that note, how do dubbing companies decide what animes they want to dub and which ones not to dub, or which ones to license type thing? Like, we're going to dub Dragon Ball, yada yada, that type thing?
How do they decide which titles? I think that really companies want everything. So like they'll bid on whatever is out there, but there's more than one company out there. So there's some bidding wars, and in the end, it's who wins, right?
So whoever wins a bid?
Yeah, oftentimes, but other things come into play. Like for example, let's take like you're dressed as Kitty Toe from Sword Art, and that's an Aniplex show.
Yeah.
Aniplex have their own offices in the United States, and they're in Los Angeles, Aniplex USA. So all of the Aniplex dubbing now happens out in LA, and Funimation's not going to dub Aniplex titles. In fact, they're taking back their titles from the Optimus program. Yeah, we've lost that license. So they're not going to do anything to it. They're not going to remake it, but it's now theirs to sell and no longer Funimation. So that's just kind of how it goes. The Japanese they decide who they want to sell their stuff to in the end, for whatever reason, whether it's money or a claim for a certain studio. I don't know. I'm glad that I don't have to decide that stuff. How about in the back? I can't really see you look naked from up here. As everyone turns around. Where is that?
Weird question, but if you had the chance, which of your characters would you date?
A character of mine?
Yeah. If you swung that way.
Yeah, I'm not really inclined in that direction. And I haven't played enough male characters to choose among them. And the males that I played are small children, so that's kind of gross. Ew. Trying to think. Who am I playing lately? Who am I playing lately? No. Playing right now. Hysteria? No. I don't know. Who would y'all date? Who's the most dateable of all of my characters? I'm hearing lots of Winrys. Haruhi's. Dudes out here are saying Haruhi. Yakumo? Ah, she's so sweet. She likes animals. She's nice. I like Yakumo.
Mawari said he got up.
Mawari is insane, so no. So loud. Evergreen is a little bit vain, so no. What's that? Retri might be cool. She just want to like hang out and play computer games. She's pretty shy. She's a dog girl. I love dogs. All right, maybe Retri. Yeah, that's what I think. Retri from Show by Rock. Or how did I not think of this? Or maybe Maki from Love Live. Girl who played the piano. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, she's awesome. Cool question. That's fun. How about back here in the black shirt? That's like half the people at an anime.
Bit of a more technical question, but from an amateur perspective, how does one budget voice acting for a production?
Thankfully, that is not my job. At least not at Funimation. I don't know how it's budgeted at all. I think the cost, most of the things we do are broadcast style nowadays. There are just a handful of titles that we still do for home video release only. So I don't know, that type of production cost is built into the contract with the Japanese, I think. I'm not really sure. We pay by a certain amount by the hour. Like it costs X number of dollars per hour to pay an actor, provided that they accomplish a certain number of lines. So we count up their lines and determine those lines should take 4 hours to record, and then we book them for those 4 hours. Some actors have what's called a minimum through their agency, so even if you only need them for 1 hour, you have to pay them for 2, that kind of stuff. But because we work on a broadcast schedule, that means we only do 1 episode at a time, maybe 2. That complicates matters, so we try not to choose actors that have those minimums because we're paying them for work they're not doing. So that's a thing. We also have 2 different rates of pay, and like you work at one rate until about 100 hours worth, and then past that it bumps up and then stays there for the rest of your time. I don't know how to tell you how to budget for it.
That actually answers my question perfectly.
Yeah, okay, cool, good, I'm glad that I can help you out in your endeavors. How about right back there, because he's right next to you. Yeah.
What effect did Yasuko Miyafuji have on the other strike witches?
I think that Yoshiko Miyafuji is like she's like a cheerleader. She's like the positive influence, like the we can do it kind of girl. He's talking about strike witches, by the way, and I play Iowa. Yeah, I like that show. It's been a number of years. We did the movie, and I'm in that, but I didn't really have to interact with Yoshiko very much. I mostly like flew around and shot things down and went about my business. So, yeah, cool, good question. Let's go back up to the front since all the questions are up here. How about in the hat?
So I have 2 questions.
Oh, really? Good.
So the first one is, what would Maki do if she went into the host club?
Oh my god. Is the second one related to the first?
I can't remember it.
Okay, cool. What would Maki do at the host club? That is not her style at all. Like she would probably only be there because the sign said music room. And she's looking for a piano. So I think if she walked in and like all that craziness was going on, she would leave. That's just not her thing. If anything, she might like talk to Tamaki or something and get him to like sit down and play with her, perhaps, like play piano. But otherwise, I don't think that's really her speed at all.
I actually just remembered my second question.
Okay.
At the end of Orton Host Club, who would you want to party with? Like, who would you actually want to?
I don't want to with anyone at the end of the anime itself. I think that's what's so great about that show and why so many people can relate to it and like it, is even though it slightly points you toward her and like Tamaki being a thing, and there is a way that everything goes in the manga, and if you haven't read it, I will spoil it for you. But it's not a show about who does this girl end up with. Like, that's not what it's about. That's what's so cool. It's this reverse harem that isn't really a harem show at all. It's about her learning what it's like to be a young woman, to depend on other people, to have friends, and it leaves all of those romantic things kind of up to you as the audience to just kind of shit in your head and talk about with your friends. My favorite host is Kyoya, personally, but what's cool about the end of the anime is it's very open-ended, and that's why I like it. Back over here, you haven't asked one.
We'll mix the 2 questions from before there. Mixing the shipping question there with the question of your choice of who you would act in. We'll combine the 2. Quite simply, of all the people you have voice acted, which of the guys you like the most that you would ship with the character you like?
Okay, so a female character that I have played, ship them with like any other male character?
Yeah, which one of those guys do you like the most yourself?
Oh, I'm a huge Petra and Levi fanatic. Huge! Yeah, I mean, it's super tragic and stuff, but let's just pretend that didn't happen. Or just imagine everything before that happened that we never got to see because it's too spicy to be animated. That's what I like to pretend. Yeah, I love Petra and Levi. I think that's a cool combo. Who has not asked one? Over on this side with the white wig. Sure. Sorry, no, I knew you haven't either.
What is your routine before to get into a character before you start
What do I do to get into character? Nothing. I'm serious. I'm just being real with you guys. That's kind of the thing about voice acting. It's a lot more improvisational than, say, going to work on a film set or going to be in a play. Like before a play, I need some time in my dressing room after I'm finally dressed and makeup's finally on to get into the character's head and get into the moment before the play begins. But with voice acting, because you don't know what you're going to be saying, I don't know what the episode is about unless I happened to watch it at home, which I did not because I'm busy with my own director stuff. I don't know. I show up and because you're watching the action and everything, it doesn't take much to feel what you're supposed to feel and know what type of emotions you're supposed to play. So it's very spur of the moment, and I like that about it. So it's really fun about my job. How about you with the hat?
So, have you ever had a particularly bad experience, like during a show or the filming or directing of any show?
Yeah, I have. That happens every once in a while. It hasn't happened in a long time, but you know, there are times where things are very difficult, and maybe the flaps are really hard in combination with the voice. It's usually like an extremely emotional moment or an extremely physical moment that requires a lot of yelling or shouting, and there's something very specific that the director needs, and they're having difficulty conveying that to you, and I'm having difficulty understanding what they want. So you're doing the same line or two lines over and over again, each time making these small adjustments, and they never work, and look at all those Love Life cosplayers. Sorry, they're like 4 of them. Awesome. You look great. So those are always really hard, because you leave and you feel like you're dumb, like I don't know how to understand, and you can't, if you're good and professional, just like tell the director, like, what do you want? And like shout at them. You shouldn't do that. So there's that, and then your voice hurts because you've just shouted the same line over and over. So there's that, and then there are other shows where it's just, the subject matter is something that, like, had you known this is what you would be doing, you probably wouldn't have done the show. You know, the show is bad enough, and then you get this OVA where your character is like naked and being molested by the entire cast. Yeah, right? Yeah, so that's no fun. So yes, it has happened, but in all the years I've been doing this, those moments I could probably count them on one hand. So, you know, you get over it. Back to this side, right? How about right here in the second row? Yes.
What is the strangest or most unusual thing someone's asked you to sign?
I've signed like pieces of candy before. It's weird. I'm like, I'm gonna eat this because probably you shouldn't eat, you know, permanent marker. Shoes, bags. I signed a prosthetic limb. Which, you know, when you play Winry, it's kind of, it makes sense. But I'm like, isn't this like thousands of dollars we have signing right now? Yeah, body parts, but nothing untoward. Like nobody's been like, you know, leaned over and pulled their pants down. That's never happened. But you know, arms and forearms, and then they're like, I'm gonna go get it tattooed. I'm like, please don't. That's weird. That is weird. Okay, back to this side. How about in the red? You got a red scarf on.
So you played Maki Nishikino in Love Live?
Yes.
So could you do a Japanese Maki impression?
What did she say? I need to know something like an easy, repeatable phrase. I should know because I play the game all the time. Oh yeah, all the time. Like I'm always on it. Like I can't sound like Kyle. Like her voice is one of a kind. She's amazing. What? It's always easy to get gunny. I could pretend to do it. I would just have to hear it. Like I could parrot it, but I can't think of it, you know, out of the air. So if you come up with something, you know, get back to me. What else you got? How about right behind you, so you don't have to run all the way over here.
You can always answer your
Hello. So out of all the characters you voiced, personally as well as emotionally altogether?
Probably Haruhi. Yeah. I mean, my life circumstances are, not exactly like hers, but I did come from a single parent home where, your parent is working all the time, so you're kind of on your own, and a lot of things are up to you, and you mature pretty quickly. So I can relate to that, and it's kind of I had a lot of guy friends growing up, with more guys than girls, so in that way I guess you can kind of relate. I don't know. It was really easy to play Haruhi. Like, she was just so chill and laid back, and she's not very high maintenance, and she's great. I wish that I knew a real Haruhi. She'd make a good friend, I think. Let's just kind of come around the back instead of going back and forth. We'll kind of follow the natural pattern of questions. So somebody in yellow has their hand up.
Can you answer a question in someone's accent?
What's your favorite character from Fairy Tale?
My favorite character from Fairy Tale? Well, let's see. Evergreen is obsessed with who? Loxus. She's so all about being in the Thunder Legion. Everything is about him. And she's not in a romantic way. In a romantic way, she's kind of interested in Elfman. Yes, exactly. But otherwise, I really like, is Carla the white cat? Yeah! I think she's really funny. My friend Jade Saxton plays her, and she's super cute. So I like Carla. Yay! We'll keep coming this way. What else you got? Yeah, because he hasn't asked one. Yeah.
You mentioned the improvisational nature of voice acting. I was just wondering how specific scripts tend to be and how much leeway you're given in terms of what's kept.
The acting is improvisational, but the lines are not, right? The lines are provided, but it's all very spur of the moment. How do you feel right now? You watch it once and then you do it. That's it. There's no study, there's no taking scripts home or memorizing or anything. That's why improv training is so important, because you don't have time to think. It's just what are you feeling? Decide, go. But everything is very much set. Doesn't mean that it can't be changed, but that will be up to the director to decide. If you as an actor could be in there and you deliver your line and you notice that it was too long or too short, and maybe the director just asks you to do it again, faster or slower, or maybe the director can tell it's too long because there are too many words. So they'll really quickly rewrite it, take out a word, or change something, and then you do it again. But as an actor, you just kind of just do what you're told, pretty much. Nice to sound like, do what you're told.
Have you improv any lines that have different kept?
You can't really, because you have to match the mouth. So unless your improv line happens to fit the mouth and also make sense in the scene, it can't just be, oh, look what they're doing, I'm gonna say something dumb. Because we do that stuff all the time, just to goof around and make each other laugh, or we leave it in as a joke for the next actor. But we have the real line actually recorded, so.
We talked about what would happen if Maki went into the host club, but what would happen if Evergreen came to the host club?
What's that? Would she turn everyone into stone? Probably all of the other girls, because she wants to be the center of attention. So that's what I think she would do. She would probably turn everybody into stone, all the little high school girls who are visiting, and make all of the hosts pay attention to her and only her, because that's her. That's what she does.
And also, if you could play anyone else in Northern High School Host Club, who would you want to play?
Probably Renge. Yes. Or Honey Senpai, I don't know. Okay, let's come this way. People up here had questions. This person with a camera and a hat on. Yeah.
You voiced a character in One Piece, right?
In what? In One Piece? Yes, I played Vivi.
What do you like about voicing her, other than, being around somebody all the time?
Other than being in One Piece, what do I like about being Vivi? God, it's just a really fun show. I like the dual nature of her, because when she first shows up, she isn't just Princess Vivi, she's undercover as Miss Wednesday. So that was really fun to get to play the two characters. I do that a lot in anime, people that have kind of two sides to their personality, like Rose in Zesteria is another one that does that. And even Haruhi sometimes has to be like girly Haruhi and regular Haruhi. So it was fun to be Miss Wednesday and also play Weedy. And then my voice for Evergreen actually was born out of the Miss Wednesday voice. They're really very similar. Cool question, thank you. How about right in front, and this in front of her as well? This gentleman.
Do you project any of your feelings for other characters to the actors that play them? I'm thinking that you had said once that you don't like Ed in the original FMA. Does that spill over into your correspondence when you're talking with Ed?
No, not at all. And it's not that I don't like it. Hey, you leaving in the doll cosplay, you look fantastic. Everybody has to look at that. I hope you read something. That's amazing. Michaela, my friend Michaela plays a character. She would lose her mind if she saw that girl. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't really like Ed, but it was mostly because he did not seem very grateful to Winry, like ever, in the first Full Metal. And then after, especially not after like Conqueror of Shambhala, he just leaves her there. Like, way to go, dude. He finally acknowledges, like, tell her she always made the best. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So he makes amends in Brotherhood. That's why I think Brotherhood's a better show. But no, I never like treated Vic poorly because I didn't like what Ed was up to. That's funny. That's a funny question though. What else we got? He's right next to you, so never mind. Come this way. We'll get to you, I promise.
Prior to getting into voice acting, what plays or were you more in theater, TV, or what type of acting did you do?
I have a degree in theater, so I started working at Funimation while I was about to complete that degree. So I was on stage a lot, doing all kinds of things. I mean, we did musical theater, I did Greek theater, I did a lot of Tennessee Williams, I did random plays outside in the park, I did all kinds of stuff. Now I don't have much time to do theater. I still do some Shakespeare when given the opportunity, because that's probably like my biggest love, I guess, apart from anime would be Shakespeare. So. Thank you all.
What do you miss most about living in Spain?
Trains. Trains. The metro system in Madrid is superb. And so you didn't have to have a car, you could just go anywhere you wanted, whenever you wanted to. And also, just kind of, they run on a different schedule there. You can start your morning at the same time as everybody else, but in the middle of the day, there's kind of a lull. Going out at night doesn't start until it's like really cool down there. At like 10 p.m. is when you're leaving your house to go out and do stuff. You eat dinner really late because it's hot. You get off work and it's normal and you're not like an alcoholic to go to like the tavern and have like a beer and a tapas and then go home. And then fix dinner. Once the house is cooled down, you can heat it up by cooking, and then you eat at like 10, 10:30, and then if it's a Friday, Saturday, then you go out and do stuff, and you come home at like 6 in the morning. And it's nuts, but really great. So I miss public transportation and just kind of the slower way of life. We work too hard over here. Granted, we have a lot more because of it, but a lot less free time. Thank you.
Is it true that you're doing the voice for Hitomi for the Vision of Escaflowne redub?
Yes, it is. I do. I play Hitomi in Escaflowne, the new redub of Escaflowne. I'm like, why are they redubbing it? Because it's like a director's cut with scenes that hadn't been seen before and like refurbished video, and it's going to look beautiful. So the old language tracks put on top of that don't exactly fit. That being said, a lot of people are huge fans of the old version. And so they are included on like the special edition or something like that. Like you can choose, like you want to watch it the old way, you still can. Yeah, but if you want to hear like the new dub, which sounds really good, and like everybody has great respect for the old one. This wasn't a situation of like, that sucks, let's do it better. It was like, we want to give the fans, and we were approached by the Japanese, this is not our idea. You know, like, hey, we want to do like this, like an anniversary edition with better footage and better quality video, make it Blu-ray and all of that. So to do so, they needed new dialogue tracks. So we provided that. Yeah, comes out soon. I just signed
like the 26th of August.
Yeah, we're doing stuff for it, I think, at Otakon next weekend in Baltimore, and I just signed a bunch of posters, so it must be happening soon. But right here.
Okay, so a number of your characters, such as Haruhi Fujioka, Winry Rockbell, Rose, they've all done lots of kind of freakouts. And as Kyoko, again, you're going to be doing a lot more kind of freak out moments. Can you think of like your top freakouts that you had as for any of the characters you played?
Probably the top of my list, I play, and I'm sorry that I don't know her name, but Nagisa's mom in Assassination Classroom.
Oh.
Yeah. She's crazy. Like certifiably insane. Not just, look at that person acting crazy. This woman is nuts.
We turned down the volume.
Yes, that's probably absolutely the top of my list for like biggest freak out. Thank you. Thanks, you scary, man. I think it's really funny that Afia, you who directed that show, cast me as the mom and Matt Mercer as the dad because of Petra and Levi. She told me, she's like, I'm doing it for you. Sorry that I'm crazy. And that they're like getting a divorce or something. But at the end of the show, they're like, we're going to try and work it out. Like, that's right, we are. Who else over here? There, back there with pink on her sleeves.
Since you play the game as well, what's your favorite UR that you have or don't?
Do I have any Maki URs? That's what's devastating. Right now, like I really need Maki with the dog. Like so badly, you guys. I love dogs like with all my heart. So I'm upset that as much, like I go digging through drawers to try and find iTunes cards so I can like, you know, they're Christmas presents and you never loaded them up. I'm like, I gotta buy LP with these things so that I can get Maki, but I never get her. I'm so upset. I'm opening it right now to see if I have Maki URs. Where are you?
Constellation Maki UR is my favorite.
Which one?
Constellation Maki.
It's so pretty. I want it.
I got it.
Rarity. Maki UR. Is that UR? I have the one for cooking. That one's pretty good, but I can't really say that that's my favorite. Is that a UR? That's an SR. Yeah, my.
Do the.
I have the Christmas one. With like the teddy bear and all the lights. That one's cute. I don't have enough Maki URs to say. Sorry. I need more URs.
The song is actually.
Come on, give me some luck, you love my gods out there. Maki with dog. That's all I want for Christmas. Come on, in the back.
Will there ever be a second series or season of Roar?
No. No, you can quote me. No. It's probably the question that I'm asked the most. Like, when is it season 2 of Moron? I heard a rumor. I saw online that it's happening. I'm like, where did you see this online? I swear. It's a no. The show in Japan is 10 years old. 10 years ago it came out. The dub came out 8 years after that. So if they were going to make more, they would have done it already. And yeah, and it doesn't matter that there's like all this manga, and it's hard because here in North America, like the show is still so popular. I can't tell you, it's like it came out yesterday. The number of fans that come up, and it's their favorite show, and it's their first anime. I'm like, when did you see it? Last week. I'm like, okay, because it's probably the show that if you have a person who's like, what's this anime stuff? You probably show it to them because it's crazy and it's fun and it's not like too like fan servicey, like boots in the face. Yeah. It's not too, it's not like tentacles or anything. Right? It's safe, it's fun, it's over 26 episodes. So it's like this gateway show. So to a lot of people, it's brand new, but it's really not brand new. So I honestly don't think that they will ever make more. I think they would have already if they were gonna. That being said, if they made more, would you do it? Of course I would. Absolutely I would. This is my favorite studio. I love doing their shows. Yeah. Sorry, no season 2. I'm such a downer. Okay. We'll go right here with the beard, and then we'll jump back over to the other side.
You mentioned that you're pretty beat lately, but do you always try to watch the source material before you do like the Japanese?
We kind of have to because we work on a broadcast schedule nowadays. So it's simulcast in Japanese, and then within like 2 weeks of that episode airing, 4 at the most, I'm going to start directing it. So I have to watch it. And we have to look up as much information as we can because sometimes that's all that we have is what I'm seeing as a director. It's not like the Japanese send us things like, here's the plot of the entire show, even the episodes that haven't come out yet. It would be really helpful if they could do that, especially shows that aren't, they're original, they're not from a manga or a video game. We have no idea what's coming, and suddenly, 12 episodes from now, this character that you thought was a boy is actually a girl, or something crazy like that. But yes, so we always watch the source material as a director. As an actor, I don't have time to do that because I'm also a director. But if I were only an actor and I'm in a show and it's a broadcast dub, then I probably would watch my episode in Japanese before coming in. I mean, why not? Unless they also have a day job and don't have the time. But they're accessible now. When I was only voice acting, the shows you couldn't watch them before going in. It would be illegal. It means you're pirating it from somewhere. Just to see what you're gonna do when you go into work tomorrow. Just wait, Like I said, as an actor, you don't really have to know. It's up to the director to tell you what to do. And it's just safer that way. Otherwise, like if you know more about it than the director, you can get into arguments with them. It's like, just follow their vision and just go with it. Okay, back to this side. How about in the back with the brown hair?
In Tales of Zestiria, who is your favorite Sarah?
Me! No. I really like, oh gosh. Is it Mikleo? Mikleo!
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's so cute. And we always like to say his name, like Mikleo. We like to sing it like it's some kind of weird Frank Sinatra-esque song. And I like the voice actor too because we're like, oh, it's a real teenage boy. And it is. As opposed to the other teenagers in the show just pretending to be teenagers. So I like Mikleo. And he's pretty. His costume, his blue hair. I like it. Thank you. I don't know, pink, and then we'll get to the guy next room.
What would happen if all your characters went in one room?
It would be a very crowded room. Yep. Do you still have one in the blue shirt?
In the last few years, what would you say is your favorite role that you've done?
In the last few years, my favorite role is probably Maki. I think she's really special and the show is really, really cool. And I was writing on the show first when they asked me to audition for it. And I was very surprised that I got the role that I did. So probably Maki. So it's wonderful, and working on a show has kind of changed my life in a way. I've only been a part of the Love Live world for like 1.5 years when I started writing. But to go from that to then being in it, and then we did the movie and I wrote that too, and then now there's a second show, Love Live Sunshine, and that is at Funimation, not out at Bang-Zoom, and I'm directing that. And the reason that I'm directing it is because of my involvement in the first show. So I think that Maki is my favorite, and I'm still obsessed with the game, and yeah. Yay, Maki. Maki. He's best girl. How about way over there, best girl?
Hi, I was wondering how you got involved with doing your gigs out in LA.
Okay, how did I get involved doing gigs out in LA? Probably the first thing I did out in Los Angeles was Street Fighter 4, and I'm also in 5, but back in 2008 is when I was cast as Cammy White, everyone's favorite British fighter, in Street Fighter 4. So that's how I started, because I knew the director of that game from doing conventions. He met me at a convention, and Capcom didn't want anybody like playing multiple characters in Street Fighter. That's just how they were. So they had to reach outside of the Los Angeles talent pool. And it was also a non-union game, I believe, so that meant, more people that didn't have a union affiliation, so we reached out to Texas. So that's how I got involved for the first time. And for the longest time, that's all I was doing in Los Angeles was Street Fighter. Like every year, every couple of years, we'd come in and do another incarnation of Street Fighter 4. And then I did get to play a second character in it, but it's because it was my clone, so that's why I get to play her as well. Different accent, but it's also me. What's like the first non-Street Fighter thing is possibly another video game? It was Tales. Then I did Tales of Hysteria, and after that I did Xenoblade Chronicles X out there. Thank you. And then Love Live. And those are my LA things for now. I'd love to do more, but it's tricky because I don't live there. And Skip Beat, I guess, but yeah. It's also being done in Texas too, so that's how I did it. Woohoo! Who over here hasn't asked one? You in the front row in the black shirt. We'll get to you next. You'll be next.
Are there any specific characters that you wanted that you didn't get?
Oh, that happens all the time. That's part of the job. You cannot get every role that you audition for. That would be impossible. So I can't really think of like, oh, that's the one that got away. Because you can't dwell on that kind of stuff. It's usually pretty smart as an actor to give yourself like a day, maybe 2 days to be upset about a part if you really, really wanted it. The chances are your friend got it. And you're going to see them around, and they're going to be excited about it, and want to be able to say, today in the booth I got to do such and such. And if you're just like, about them, that's not healthy. So I honestly can't think of one that I wish I had gotten and didn't. Sorry. Or Love Live cosplayers, they're everywhere. Yeah, awesome. Okay, you had one.
So you had played Alma in Xenoblade Chronicles X, right?
Yes.
Have you ever considered actually writing the skell before?
No, I've never considered actually writing a skell because they're not real. So that's never been like, I gotta get me one of those. Yeah, I think that I would probably be a chicken. I don't think that's I'm not into adrenaline very much. That's okay, I'll just stay at home and watch, thank you. Let's see, anybody over here who hasn't asked one? Yeah, black sweater.
Before recording the Love Live dub, did anyone consider dubbing the songs?
We are not allowed to dub the songs as per the Japanese. That's a great question though, but the reason we cannot is because the songs, they're so much entrenched in the game, and rights to music usually belong to multiple companies. It isn't just like the people who made the anime also have the rights to the songs. They belong to record labels, and the singers are also the Japanese voice actors. They go around performing those songs live. So those songs are really a part of those actresses and their idol persona. So they're off limits. And in fact, we were told for Love Live Sunshine, like, you will not be dubbing any of the music. Because Funimation is more inclined to dub music. I know, I just finished up all of the music for Show by Rock. And when it comes out on home video, you can hear everything in English, not just those 2 or 3 songs. So we're all about that stuff in Texas if we're allowed to do it. And Japan is like, you can't dub these, they're off limits. We're like, all right, cool. And thank goodness too, because if you're watching Love Live Sunshine, right away in the very first episode, like you hear songs from the first season, like Start Dash is in there, like Snow Elation gets mentioned, Yume no Kobira is sung in the second episode, like all kinds of stuff. And if we were dubbing it and they hadn't dubbed it before, it would have been so like inconsistent, right? Or if they had dubbed it before, now it's a different company. Like, how do we get our hands on that version of the song as sung by actresses that don't live in Texas? Could we even be allowed to? Because the license to the first show belongs to somebody else. It's a mess, and y'all are already bored of this answer. Okay. But anyway, yeah. I want to check. What are we doing on time? Okay. Is there anybody who has not asked one? She hasn't asked one in the future diary outfit.
If you could hop into any animal world, what world would you hop into and why?
I think it'd be fun to live in the world of Oran High School Host Club. It would be like, 'cause isn't many times as you've seen it, like I can't really imagine that in reality. So I would like to see what that would really be like in the flesh. A bunch of goofy high school boys, like what the heck is that? Like fawning over girls. Totally bizarre. I will drink this coffee. That would be fun. And even though it's supposed to be like a slice of life, I think that it would be cool to be in Love Live. If I were a high school student, I would totally want to be a school idol. How fun is that? That looks really fun. I like the aspect that they get good at dancing and they have talent at singing, but it's not like they're future Broadway dancers and singers. It's just like girls who like doing that kind of stuff together, and it's so fun. I'm really be into that. How about you over here? Oh, you're from Devil is a Part-Timer. Cool costume.
Is there any voice actors you want to see?
Any voice actors I want to see? Like, ever? Like, anime ones?
Anybody.
Well, sure. I feel so fortunate, though, that I get to meet so many people already, just going to conventions. I mean, maybe I'll never work with them on stuff, because we live in different areas, and we do very different sorts of things, but I think Tara Strong is amazing. And I've met her a couple of times. She's really sweet and cool and funny. Gosh, I've met Kevin Conroy. What? Yeah, he's Batman, you guys. Last year I got to meet Susan Eisenberg. She's Wonder Woman most of the time. She should be her all the time. Should be nobody else, just her. She's rad. I've even met like my hero, which is Jodie Benson. She's Ariel. And so it's hard for me to answer that question because I feel like I've already met probably the only person that I would want to meet if I could. Yeah, who wouldn't want to meet Mark Hamill? I would meet him. Yes. Yes. Good answer. Good answer. Anybody else who doesn't ask one right there? I am Kitty Kitty in Danganronpa the show, not Danganronpa the game. But I am in the show, and I am in the new show as well. And the first episode of that in English is next Wednesday. I'm in Danganronpa Future.
What was your favorite part about
I'll be honest, I was telling Bryce this in the car. I didn't really enjoy it all that much because she's sort of the dry character. She's there to give lots of facts and figure things out, but her voice is not extreme and she rarely gets emotional in one way or the other. So it's kind of boring, I'll be completely honest, the first time around. But already, I'm enjoying it just after one episode of the new show. So I'm looking forward to playing her more now. Yeah. I think we have more, maybe, oh, this person in the hat.
So, what's a funny thing that happens to you before you booth?
What's a funny thing that happens to me in the recording booth? Everything is funny in the recording booth, all the time. I think actually I have more fun as a director. People don't play too many pranks on me when I am in the booth, but as a director, I encourage pranking a lot. So usually, just goofing off, working on Prince of Stride Alternative, which is one of my favorite shows to do. It's a really cool sports show, you guys. I did that a few months ago, and we would always joke because it's this sports show, and one character in particular is like a bro. His name is Heath, and he's actually like this really ripped. He's very pretty, and his voice out of all of them, and his no, it is not. It's not Chris Sabat. It's played by Jason Liebrecht. It lends itself to being a bit more of like a dude, kind of a little bit Keanu-ish. But everyone else has their own bizarre characteristics, but nobody is a bro. And we thought, what if we made like a fake for funsies episode? Because we were so sad when the show wrapped. We were having so much fun, just me and this team of guys and like one girl who's on the team with them. And every week it's like race of the week, so it's another team of guys with their individual personalities. It was so much fun. When it was over, like this was the worst, we don't want it to end. So after every line, everybody would get to record a bro version of every character, not just Heath. Heath didn't really have to do anything to his voice. But then I said, okay, how about this? Don't change your voice. Don't be like, dude, man, bro. Like, don't do that. But use bro language. So still vocabulary, if you will. So they all kept in their character voice, but replaced stuff with bro words, or would tack on dude and bro in between. We even changed people's names, like Riku Yagami is the name kid. His name is now Riku Bragami. And instead of like Takeru Fujiwara is Takedude and stuff. We recorded the entire episode, every single line, so we call it the brosode.
Is that included as a DVD extra?
I don't think that, we don't know. We're not to that point yet. We're not, I mean, it only came out like a season ago. It ended a season ago. So we haven't got to the point where we're going to start looking at final video or proposing special features, because the Japanese have to approve all of that. So it may or may not end up on a disc. At the most, it would be something that we would give to the cast members as like a hey thanks, and they could maybe show it at a convention at like a late night panel, provided that nobody was filming it or anything. It's clean. There's nothing like dirty about it at all, but it's really hysterical. God, it's so funny. There's the character Kyosuke, Brosuke. Their school is Honan. Right, there we go. Yeah, it's so great. The end of the show is really against. The end of the show is Honan versus Kakyoi, so it's Bronan versus Cockbrony. Then when they like bow to each other, it's like the announcer's like, Bronan Academy High School from Tokyo, and then the whole row of them goes, dude. And Cockbrony Academy from wherever they were from, and they go, bro. And they like bow to each other. It's so good. Like every announcer is saying bro stuff, and like lots of other slang. Justin Briner rolls up and he's like the cool guy from the rival school, and he steps into the room. He's like, "Sup, fam?" It's so fun. And we did it. It's all improvised. I didn't take it home, but there's still plot. The plot is not lost. We still know what's going on. It's fun to follow. I didn't take it home and rewrite it. They would do their stuff, and then we would go back and do all their stuff again and just change everything on the fly. It was super fun. Super fun.
It's definitely fun.
So that's a funny thing that happened to me in the booth. We love the bro so. Probably have time for like one more question. Is there anybody who hasn't asked one? In the very back.
Has there ever been a line where that you've had to read and you had to stop and cringe thinking, wait, I have to read this?
Probably, and I block all of those out. I'm sure it came from freezing, and I never want to think about it again. But I know a lot of people love that show, so I don't like to speak poorly about the show. And my character is a very strong character. She just has awful things happen to her that I wish hadn't been animated for your viewing pleasure. Gross. Hey, who's it? So that was fun. Later today, I have autographs at 5:30. So please come see me then. Don't come like